So here we are. If you get on here, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are here. Then we can officially begin, okay? Okay, get in here, get in here. And today I want us to talk about a little bit about round tables, and then a bit of leadership, a bit of purpose. We will touch on different things. And if you get here faster than your friends, please make sure that you share this link back in the group so that they know we are here and we want to learn together, okay? And send me a message, tell me how your day was, and if you need help in any particular area, please make sure that you put it down here. And in case you have a question, still we'll make sure that we answer that. Charity, good to have you. You're saying you're here. Please share this link back to the group so that everyone knows that we are here and we are going to learn together. Okay, so just waiting a little bit for most of us to get here, and then I'll just make sure that we kickstart this. I had a good day, and I hope that you did too. Today I really took a rest, which is not something that I thank you, Charity. I really took a rest. It's not an everyday thing. I rarely do take rests. I work, I think, Monday to Monday. But today I was like, you know what? I deserve the time off. I gave myself a time off. So I feel refreshed. I feel I've had enough time to write. I've had enough time to think. I've had enough time. I even had enough time to do a photo shoot at home, and just enough time with my children, and just, have a personal touch at home. So today was a good day. I hope that you had a good day. I know most of you went out and worked. It's not an easy world these days. Whenever you step out of your home, you don't know whether you're coming home sick or okay. So I know that it's not easy. I've had to take tests now and again, nearly every after a week, just to make sure, because I deal with a lot of people, I meet a lot of people, I host a lot of people, and I mean, I do a lot of things. So I just need to keep on the healthy side of it. And I'm not the kind who will say, let me drink that and drink that and drink that, all the things that people are recommending. I'm like, no, I'm not going to just cause an imbalance in my body because I'm either over consuming something or a certain vitamin. But at least I'll try as much as possible to make sure that I keep safe. So I really hope that you're keeping safe, okay? And if you know a better way of keeping safe, make sure that you let us know. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, everyone. And Agnes, you're saying, I'm here too. Good to have you. And Rina, thank you. I don't know whether you pronounce it as Rina or Rena, but good to have you, that you're finally here. We took off a little bit late, okay, but I'm glad all the same. We are here. I want you to share your experience, okay? Share your experience. Could be today, could be the few the week or the videos that you have watched. What's your feedback? Where do you need me to highlight? I am here to make sure that I answer all those questions. Remember, for everyone that reaches out, I think you have gotten my attention. So for you that if you're kind of, an introvert, I don't want to come out, this is a mentorship. And a mentor is supposed to give of her time, is supposed to give of her skills, is supposed to give of herself, okay? So I am here for you. I am not here for anything. I am here for you. Yes, I have a busy schedule, but you are part of my busy schedule, okay? You are part of, I plan for you and I think about you. I might not be in your inbox every other time, but I know you are there and I know you're following. That is why I have to be very prompt to make sure that the videos are uploaded. When we have a live session, I am here. And then when you come to my inbox, you're getting all your responses, because some of us are not going to find ourselves at the same pace like everyone else. us, but some of us need hand holding. Okay, so many of us need hand holding, and so I am willing to do that. That is why I carried out this mentorship, just to make sure that we walk side by side. I am not better than you. Okay, I could have the experience. Okay, but you are a human being that was created with purpose, and that purpose is supposed to be manifested. And this time, such a time as this, is the best time for you to launch out into the deep and to demand of yourself to be the best version of yourself right now. Where the world is crying, where we are in a crisis, where we don't know what next. Okay, the world is just, there's so full of uncertainty. This is where the men and women that have been called, that have a purpose, that have a passion, that have a calling, those that know that we want to change the world, we want to transform it, and we want to do something about whatever people are going through. You don't have to have all the money in the world to actually say, lend a helping hand. But families are collapsing. You can be a relationship coach. I mean, parents are losing it. You can be you can be a parenting coach. You can, I mean, people are losing confidence. You can be a confidence coach. There is a lot that we can do. There's never been a time in history where our callings and our purposes are called forth to come and help the world. We are like the Red Cross of this world, the UN of this world, the UNICEF of this world. We are like the health organizations of this world. Now, even the Bible, for the Bible believers, that if we lose our saltiness, then what will become of the world? If you who was called to help, if you have the passion, if you have the calling, and you're just sitting and you're just procrastinating, you're self-sabotaging, you're forgetting that there are people that are dying or being held down because you have not shown up, you know, it's really sad. Okay, so I'm just calling forth the greatness within you, that you do not have to be ready in order for you to launch out. You don't have to feel like you have it all together. You don't have to feel like everything is lining up. You don't have to feel like you have all the money in the world. You don't have to feel like you have all the words in the world. You just have to put one right step in front of the other every day, one right footstep in front of the other, and you're going to see the amazing things that are actually going to come out of that. So if you're here and you have a question, I would love to start with any of the questions that you have here. Hello, Coach. Sinja, good to have you. Tony, good to have you. Good evening. Karunji Josephine, good to have you too. And yes, good to have you. Yes, Wakabi Pius, good to have you. Elneva, good to have you. And Nababi Esther, good to have you here. Okay. We are getting in. The week has been good. I'm catching up with the videos, and my days are a bit busy, so I study in the night. How does one coach in if themselves they need help? Do they work on themselves first, then launch out? Okay, now you will still clarify the kind of help if they still need help themselves. You please clarify the kind of help that you mean. Okay, when you talk about needing help, please make sure that you clarify on that, so that at least I know what we are dealing with. But this is what I will tell you: the world is never going to wait until all your problems are dealt with. Second, there will never be a day, and it will never dawn, a day where you are completely free of everything else that is poking at you or disturbing you. There will never be a day like that. It will never dawn, and boom, you're going to be the superstar. You're going to be, as in, you have everything in control and everything is so good. If you ever wait for such a day, then it will never come. That means you will never work, you will never help anyone, you will never transform the world, you will never change the world. So this is what I usually say. During this mentorship, part of what it's possible that I didn't include it, but I said we can handle your personal issues. And mostly the personal issues, I want you to get me clearly. There are personal issues that are solvable, okay? And then there are personal issues where you need to make a decision. And then there are personal issues where you need to just cope. Now, do you see the things that I'm talking about, the three options, where you just, you just need to make it's not solvable, so you just need to make a decision. Or the other one, you can, cope with it. Or the other one, you can just learn to compromise and say, you know what, let me stay in it, even if it's not okay. And there are some problems that we are in that are being caused by other people. And then there are problems that we are in that are self-inflicted. Now, if you can be able to point out your issue or your problem, and just like I mentioned and said that part of this mentorship, we are actually going to dissect your issues and we are going to make sure that you take away the fog, because counseling, coaching, mentoring, and consulting, it's like a mirror. So you cannot see clearly until you have removed the fog off. Now, that is your personal baggage, that is your personal life, and we all have that. Now, no one should ever tell you that they came free and everything is okay. And even in the time when they were serving, or in the time when they were moving on, everything was okay. Let me tell you this. There are people who are super, counselors that are being followed, or coaches or something like that, but when they are battling their own demons in the background, and some of those demons actually become bigger than them, that they are exposed sometimes. So I don't want you to berate yourself, and I don't want you to wait for the perfect world for you to come out, because it will never be perfect. Your life will never be perfect, but we fight to make sure that we have the peace of mind by the decisions that we make, and by deciding if you're going to cope, then you cope. If you're going to make a decision, then you make it. Okay? So that gives you clarity. Okay, and when you clear the fog, a bit of the fog, when we talk, let me say you have booked an appointment, sorry, that shook. If you've booked an appointment and then we've had time to talk, and then you've gained a bit of clarity, this is what happens. And the reason as to why we are in this mentorship is to make sure that I give you a sense of clarity, or we share a sense of clarity, so that you know the direction that you want to take. Now, the moment you know the direction, speed is something that can come anytime. Okay, for example, have you ever driven to a place that you are not so sure whether this is where you branch off, or this is where you stop, or this is where, if you've ever driven, or if you were in a car and you just didn't know where you were headed, okay, you realize you stand either at the gas station to make sure that you ask for direction, or you get a boda person, or you're squinting your eyes looking at posters. Why? You don't know where you're going, you don't know the direction. But the moment you know that this is the road, I am going to Tirini, and this is the road that I take, this is the highway, okay, the speed at which you will run. Why? Because you're not second guessing yourself. You're not saying that, okay, now what if I get there and I don't know? Because how will you get to a place that you don't know, first of all? So that is why we say it's good to come for a mentorship group like this, and a mentorship where you have like-minded people, and like-minded people on a platform that has more than 100 people. That means that you can ask anyone, you can talk to anyone, you can see people that are really, really, really pushing forward, and you can be challenged, you can be motivated, you can be inspired. That is why we are here as a growing family. Okay, so I want you to get to make a use of that. You don't need to be perfect in order to serve. Okay, you serve with your imperfections until you learn to make a decision, or to cope, or you learn to turn your life around. And that is very possible. Definitely, when you turn your life around, when you serve differently, because then, what is passion without joy? What is passion without freedom? What is passion? I'm at that point in my life where the freedom I have created. The other day I was at work, and I was telling them that I think one person had messed up something during the weekend, and so like the programs were not moving the way they were supposed to move. So when I came, it was a Monday morning during the gathering, and I told them, guys, I have built my life to have a lot of peace. Okay, the way I have tuned and fine-tuned my life is that I have a lot of peace around me, and I don't want anyone that sabotages that peace. So if I have to call you 10 times to rectify a problem, then there's a problem. And I don't think I'm willing to work with such a person. Then I can replace you anytime. Why? Because I have gotten to a place, I mean, I have been through the ditches. I have been through the trenches. I have done it all. And I know that, you know what? I have created a life of peace. I have created a life of tranquility. I know I'm very busy. I have a lot on my plate. But even with all my busy schedule, I know that there is peace at the center of my heart. And so I'm like, I do not want anyone that disturbs that peace. And that is what purpose gives you. That is what passion gives you. That you don't need to be to have millions of dollars on your account to have the peace of mind. You have the peace of mind because every day you wake up to do something you love and something you adore and something that you would do without even a single penny. And let me tell you, and I've given this example so many times. I say, seek ye the kingdom of God and everything will be added unto you. I use it, but so many times when you chase purpose, money comes like very, very automatic. Money comes, okay? Where you start to, I mean, earn in dollars, earn in pounds, earn in, as in travel the nations, impact the world, change the world, and this is the chance that we have, okay? So make sure you do not hold yourself. Start, put yourself out there, rectify everything as you go on. Okay, and this is my question today. Okay. The week has been good. Okay, do we have classes every evening? I didn't know. I reported a bit late. I have been watching videos on FB now on day 7. Okay, I think day 8 is already up for the freedom seekers. So the freedom seekers in the house, good to have you. We have transformers in the house as well. And we have gladiators, some of the gladiators. I've seen Esther Nababi, you're a gladiator. So my dear, we don't have classes every evening. I make sure that I post videos to the private groups every day. Okay, for the freedom seekers, I'm posting videos every day with hashtags day 1, day 2, day 3. Remember, we have more than 35 days or 40 days, so all those days you're going to have, be it a Monday or a Sunday. I do 7 days a week videos every day. So and then we have one live session that is on Tuesday. Okay, and then the rest of the days my inbox is open and we can always have a Zoom, we can always meet, we can always talk. So I don't want to hold you, I don't want to hold you to hold yourself back. Okay, the reason as to why I did one live session is because most of you are really busy during the day. When you go back home, some of you are married, some of you have partners, some of you, and so it's so hard for you to have to be on a live session every day. I know it would really be so hard. So that is why I kept it to just once and make sure that I give you videos every day. I give you a video so that you can be able to watch, take your notes, make sure that you take it seriously, write your notes, because you will be tested at the end of the day. You're not just getting a certificate because you attended. This is not a certificate of attendance. This is a certificate of participation, a certificate of doing your assignments. So some of you have the assignments and we are going to still repost those assignments for some of you that came in a bit late. For the transformers, I'm waiting. Some of you have not handed in, and I know that you got into lockdown and we're like, hey, so now maybe it's just the graduation is not going to be in June. My friends, we're going to find a way of graduating. We are a huge class, but we're going to find a way of graduating and make sure that by the time the test is coming, you've gone through your notes, you've done your assignments. No one is getting a certificate, no one is graduating minus finishing what you have to finish. Okay, so no, we don't have classes every day. Emotional help. Okay, emotional help, definitely. We are going to deal with that. Charity, you're in the right place, you're in the winning family, and we cannot leave you. You are part of the family, and so all your issues have to be dealt with. My question today is about career coaching. I need more clarification, coach. Okay, career coaching, Businje, Evangelista. Now, when we talk about career coaching, we're talking about people that help because coaching in itself is moving a person from one place to another, from lack of clarity to clarity about their issue and their condition. Actually, what we provide most of the times is the clarity to dig through the debris and find the truth the way it is, and then be ready to face it and ask the right questions. And that is how we give value to people. Because when someone calls you, or when you meet someone, it's because they know that they are stuck somewhere. They need a breakthrough, or they need to break even somewhere, but they just don't know how to do it. But they have all the answers, okay? So when you talk about career coaching, now career guidance starts when you're in school. They are directing you, or they are telling you, they are giving you options about what careers are available, what is marketable, what applies to everyone. They will tell you, if you do social works, that means that you can be able development studies, then you can be able to do a multiple things as your job and stuff like that, or you'll be able to be employed in. Now that is career guidance. When you come to career coaching, there are people who want, number one, they are looking for jobs, but they just don't know how to write their resume. They just don't know how to knock on doors. They don't know how to go through with interviews. They don't know. Some career coaches go to even the depth of placement, like finding out placements in different companies and then recommending the people or their clients to those placements, okay? And some career coaches do deal with transition. There are people who would want to transition. For example, you're in a career and you'd want to transition into a different career altogether. And or to just branch off. Actually, it's not even transitioning, but to branch off to a different career altogether. Talking about how ready you are and what it would take, what it would mean, okay? You even go into calculating if the money that you have saved enough to take you for like 6 months before you you have that job, or while you're on probation or something like that. So they break it down for you. Now that is branching off to another kind of career. And sometimes they will deal with transitions. For example, you're in that career, but you want to actually develop, or you want to go higher. Some people have consulted career coaches where you're like, you know what, I did a bachelor's, and this is the position that I'm at, and I know that I can do better. There's a senior position that is coming out so soon, but in order for me to actually have it, I need to have this credential that I don't have. Now, most of the times a coach will help you or ask you the right questions to find out whether you're in the right place or frame of mind to make sure that you go back to school in order to attain the kind of senior position that you have, okay? So that is, you're really transitioning. You are getting into a CEO job, you're getting into an administrative job, you're getting into, so the career coach actually helps you to know. They help you to climb the levels. They help you clarify those levels. They help you know whether you're doing it for the right reasons, because there are people who actually go to apply for big jobs, and it's because their ego, they want to satisfy their ego, and then they will tell you, a career coach can tell you, you're not ready. It's okay, you can go ahead and apply, but you're not ready, okay, because of A, B, C, and D that you have talked about during your session. So a career coach is very, very crucial. We're in a world where, careers are turning from just being lawyer and an architect and a doctor. We are getting into a place or a space where creative minds are actually taking on the day. So that means that if you're going to be a career coach, that means you have to be very eloquent and well acquainted with what is happening right now, because people are influencers, people are YouTube content creators, people are Instagram content creators, people, as in, everyone is doing something that is not what it used to be. And sometimes the parents have a hard time when you ask your child, like, I want to be a DJ. You ask your child and like, I want to be a producer. Or I want to be an influencer. You're like, are those even things? Are those jobs? Yes, they are jobs. So it's upon you as a career coach to be able to sit down even with a young person that is just getting into the career force, and go through their expectations, go through the timelines, the roadmaps of, okay, now you've started now, but can we look at 5 years to come? Can we look at 10 years to come? Where can we forecast? Where do you want to be? What can you do between now and then that will get you to that place? So do you see the kind of clarity career coaches create? It's quite awesome, okay? So, Evangelista, do you feel that calling to be a career coach? Let me know in the comments. I'm following. Thank you for selflessly sharing your time and advice. Love you. Thank you, Kathy. Hello, everyone. I'm glad I'm here. Okay, Lillian, good to have you. I hope that everything is going on well. Reporting for class, I salute you all, dear coaches. Good to have you. That is the Transformer President, Joan Comfort, the author of, Thriving Beyond Self-Sabotage. Okay, good to have you. I'm happy to be here. Sorry I'm late. Good to have you, Adrina. And good to have you, Charity. Good to have you. You serve with your imperfections. Exactly. What happens to what could be the problem with a person who gives advice to friends and it's always helpful, but they are always scared of taking the same advice they give to others. That is, what's that saying in Luganda? Does it say omuganga teye ganga? Now, this is what happens. The moment you become like a coach or a go-to person, okay? Remember, when someone comes to you, they're in the hot soup, in the hot water, their emotions are involved, and they just can't see clearly. There's a way emotions just blindfold us, and it feels like we have logs on our on or mists on our eyes, okay? Because we are emotionally involved in the problem. We are we are in the middle of the problem. Now, the moment someone comes to you, remember, for you, you're an outsider. So you have the discernment and you can dissect the issues because your feelings are not attached. Your emotions are not attached. You're not feeling the pain. This is not your problem. So when you look from outside inside, you're able to give insight and you're able to offer help and you're able to tell someone, to give someone the quinine or to give them the bitterness. But when you know this is the thing that is going to help you, when you look at your friend and you tell them, you know what, your husband is a narcissist or your wife is a narcissist, and there is no way that they are going to change. Whether you jump from heaven to earth, whether you cut yourself, whether you kill yourself, whether they will never be able to change. So, but remember, the person that is in the relationship or the marriage is saying one thing, but I love him so much. But we have had good days. But it's not easy now. That person is in the problem. You have the insight and you have the knowledge. So it's easy to apply knowledge when you are sober. Okay. So you've given them the wisdom or the advice and it has worked for them. So you're flipping and you're saying that, okay, what happens because you can't even take the same advice. Now, let's look at the same scenario. You are the one with the problem, maybe in your relationship, or I will just give an example. You're dating a narcissist and or a narcissistic person or a toxic person, or you're married to one, and then you're just thinking, okay, now people know I am married to this person or I'm dating this person. What will people say? Because then you will know the right thing to do. You'll be like, but this person is not going to change. But remember, you fell in love head over heels for him or her. Okay. And so you are in love. So one of you are battling with yourself. You have voices, two sides in your mind. You're like, what if I step out? And then the fear creeps in. What if I step out of this relationship and I never get a man that loves me or a woman that loves me? Okay. And then what will people say? And then people know that I'm the one with the knowledge. They will ask me, why didn't you work on your things? You keep helping us, you keep telling us, but why weren't you able to save your marriage? Why weren't you? Do you see what exactly happens? Now, you are reasoning all that in your mind. And the conclusion is you either settle or you just fail to you freeze. You fail to make a decision. Now, why? It's because you are involved in the problem. It's because your emotions are in that problem. And so it's very hard for you to detach from your emotions, even when you know the right thing to do. How many of us have known the right thing to do and we have failed to do it? Just imagine. We know that eating junk food is bad, but how many of us drive through KFC and pick the junk? Okay, how many of us, I mean, when you look at a pizza, you just can't hold it. When you look at ice cream, I am guilty. I know I am very guilty. You look at ice cream and you're like, you know what? I am just eating this once. Like, we know the good thing to do, but we end up not doing it. Okay, why? Because our emotions attached to it. Why? Because we know how sweet that ice cream is or that chocolate is. So every time you want to put your mind off it, then you're like, oh my god, that it's really nice. You even, because tosobola kuyoya chotamanyi, so your mind is actually involved and it is the one that is sabotaging you. Do you know that you can know something bad, but your heart betrays you, that it's still in love with that particular thing, and then you are not able to let go? So that is exactly why sometimes coaches or counselors are not able to take their own advice, because then they look at it, they're the ones in the problem, they are in love, or they have fear of venturing out, or all these other things come last. But the number one thing is we just don't know how to deal with it when you are the one in it. Now, it's until you attain a certain level. Okay. Now, when you grow into this career up to a certain level, it's not that you don't cease to be a human. You are a human. You will feel the pain. You will feel the pinch. You will advise yourself, but you will have a better result. What should I call it? It's ways of resolving, okay? Or ways, like your weighing scale will be mature. So you're like, okay, when I do this, where does it end? Where does it? So you have better calculation and better math of your issues. And then you're like, you know what? My piece is better than anything else in the world. And you can walk away with your head held high. And you know, I do not have to answer to anyone, not even the world. Whether I have followers and then they keep asking, what happened? What happened? It's none of your business. I will continue with my life. I will continue with my purpose, and you will be okay. Okay, because every one of you has problems. But some people put their problems down and then they go seeing or looking for other people's problems. So when you get to that level of maturity, then you know that you have it intact. You don't even need to give yourself the advice. You will automatically know what to do, because you will love yourself enough. You respect your self-worth. You respect your boundaries. There is an eye, a different eye that you will have for every detail, because number one, you'll not even be able to date losers. Okay, why? Because you know a loser. You can smell a loser 100 miles away and you'll be like, no, that's a loser. I don't get into their lives. So the knowledge will increase. Okay, it's really good to do what you truly feel you love. Thanks, senior coach, for the lessons. Yes, coach, thanks for the clarification. Okay. Anyone else with a question? Anyone else with a question? Some of what I wanted us to actually talk about today, something very little. We have a few minutes left, but I wanted us to talk about what is currently happening, the pandemic and all. It's not just going to vanish in the thin air and just go away. But one thing that I've really been thinking about today is this thing is going to leave a burden nearly for every one of us, because people are losing lives, and so that means that it's on upon us, okay, to make sure that we do the right thing. We pray for our nation, and then we even do the work that we are supposed to do. People need help more than anything. People need motivation more than any other time. People need inspiration. And you cannot say, oh, me, I've just started. No, you have just started the mentorship for some of you, but you have it inside of you. You know what will help. Someone, it takes just hearing one. Have you ever read a post and you were like, yes, this is it. I've been longing to hear this. And, oh, this has made my day. Why? Because that person needed to refresh their minds. So this is the best time time for you to launch out. The best time when people are home, and most people are home, and it's not because the government has told them to be home. Some of them are home because they're like, when I get out, I don't know whether I'm going to be sick or not. So some of them have decided to stay home, to even not work. That means they have a lot of time on their phones. So for all the videos that I told us to actually shoot and the posts that I told us to make every other day, it's very important that you start now. Because the moment you start now, you are going to dig into research, and then you are going to actually find, because I told us that a niche can change, okay? And a niche can be refined, okay? And it can change, I mean, it can change, totally change. So while you start your self-discovery journey right now, you post this, post that, post this, post that. With time, you find that, okay, my heart is drawn to this, and this is what I would love to do for the rest of my life. I want to talk to married people, or I want to talk to young couples, or I want to talk to parents, or I want to talk to educators. I want, so that you come down with a niche and know that this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to stick to for the rest of my life. Okay, so it's very important. And so this is no time like any other time. This is time for you to go big. This is time for you to go mega, and it's time for global influence. Now, some of us have been thinking in terms of, I mean, the people that are going to watch me are just Ugandans, or they're just, when I do these videos, or when I do these posts, when I do, no, 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 no. It's time. Actually, I don't want you to even think that you're only going to operate in Uganda. I want you to think wider, because the virtual events, I mean, anyone can attend from any part of the world. So, and there are going to be more, even rampant, okay, to be online, to have virtual events, to record videos, to write posts and to write blogs. Now, all those things are in things. The things that are actually going to hold the world. Okay, so if you can be able to teach yourself or educate yourself some of those things, some of which we are doing partly in this mentorship, I want you to be able to run ahead. I want you to create a pace for others, and I want you to go ahead of the tide. Okay, by the time everyone else wakes up, you will be far gone. You will be, I mean, inside. You'll be writing a book, launching a book. You will have the credibility that you need. You will have the authority that you need in your life. So this is not time for us to slumber. This is not time for us to sit home and eat, 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 eat. It's good to eat, but in moderation. This is not time for us to sleep. It's not time for us to pass time scrolling endlessly on Facebook. Go or to social media. Make sure that you actually go ahead and research. Make sure, I told us in the assignment, write 50 problems that the people in your niche are actually facing. Now, for each of those 50 lessons, there is a solution, okay, and multiple solutions. So that means if you are solution oriented, let me tell you, solve people's problems and you will have all their money. If someone can solve a problem, then they are going to automatically, they are going to have my money. So I want you to be that kind of person. Solve people's problems and get into their pockets. But make sure that you add value more than anything. We do what we do not because of money. We do what we do to bring value to people, but that value ends up being worth something, and that is the payment which comes to you without you even looking for it. Okay, so I want you to be very careful about that. About this pandemic, don't think, okay, it's time for me to just chill and just be there. No, chill while you're working, chill while you're taking on your brand and advertising your brand. 5 years from now, you'll be happy you did it. I am so happy that at the time when I did, clearly there was nothing that was happening. I won't say that nothing was happening, but we were, I mean, the world was, everyone was minding their business, and it wasn't just so much social media and nothing. But I'm glad that at the time where I started my pages, I opened a Twitter, I opened an Instagram, I opened Facebook. That is the time where there was no even content creation. Like, it was just on the low. It was just even getting here in Kampala. People were just getting to know what it is, okay? But I am glad that I went ahead of the game, and I am glad I have never regretted that I started doing what I started doing, okay? And so many people are going to ask you, for example, if you're dealing in relationships, so many people are going to ask you, are you heartbroken? Why are you writing these things? It's okay. Even if you're not heartbroken, whether you're heartbroken, it's none of their business. Go ahead and write whatever you need to write, because 5 years from now, you're going to be thankful about the opportunities that you took and the steps that you took. And you are not going to, you will not be regretting. But you don't want to reach 5 years from now and then regret, oh, I wish I opened that page then. Oh, I wish I shot those videos then. Oh, I wish I, no, we don't want the I wish. We want you to do it now. And I know that you can, okay? You have whatever it takes for you to actually do it. Okay, it's really good to do what you really love. Okay, thanks, senior coach, for the lessons. I enjoyed the session. Yes, coach, thanks for clarification. Run ahead. Exactly. Nalugwa Majorin, good to have you. I hope the people in Magamaga are doing well. Good, 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 good to have you. So, and there's a video I made some time back, I think, for the um freedom seekers. You've not yet gotten to that, but I was talking about the things that you can do, especially, or the best things that you could have done in the pandemic. And one of them was investing in yourselves. And I'm glad you are doing that right now. And the other was to actually launch out in power, to make sure that the world knows that you are there and you're willing to offer the help that you need to offer, or add value and money out of it, because this is more of a profit, I mean, a purpose, a passion and profit, or paycheck. It's not about, okay, volunteering. Yes, you can volunteer. That's okay. I volunteer. I've done so many pro bono things. But again, at the end of the day, there's a payment side that is actually huge. Okay, so if you learn to tap into that, then you are actually doing it. Thanks for the words of wisdom. Bless, dear blessed. I'm refreshing after hearing this. Exactly. We need to launch out in power. We need to get out there. Do not tire. Whether you're creating graphics, whether you're shooting videos, whether you're going through our private Facebook groups, and making sure that you get all the content right, and make sure that you do your notes. Because when you do your notes, then you don't need to go back and watch. Then you have outlined what exactly, what are the pointers, what have you learned from that. So that means that you only need a few minutes to just go through your pages, and you know exactly what you're doing, instead of going back to rewatch the videos. Okay, so I want you to be able to do that, and I'll do the assignments, send them in, and let's evaluate and see how far we have gone and what we really need to do. If you have any question, please forward it, because I have less than 10 minutes, okay? Less than 10 minutes, I'll be out of here, but I need to know that all your questions are handled, or the lack of clarity has been handled. And remember, we'll do relationship coaching, and then we have the leadership. And I wanted to hint just a little bit about the leadership. We have Coach Marjorie, we have Coach Fifi, we have Coach Patricia, we have Millie. We have people that have started roundtables. So when someone says that, okay, I have a roundtable, and you're able to subscribe to, or you're able to join them up on the Zoom and do the roundtable, I would love for you to do that. Okay, and definitely tomorrow, I'm also going to hold a roundtable, but this roundtable is going to really be training facilitators. So if you want to be a facilitator, and I would advise that you all become facilitators, because it's only the facilitators that get certificates at the end of the day. But whenever we open a roundtable, the people come for the roundtable, those people can decide to also be trained as facilitators. So I don't want us to limit ourselves. I know that for the freedom seekers, I'm telling you this quite early. This is a program we are doing with John Maxwell, that is Beyond Success, Equip program, and it's roundtables, change your world. And I thought, okay, this is the best way for us to actually take on the skills that we have learned here and be able to put them into use. We have talked about personal branding. We have talked about promoting or standing out on social media. We have talked about public speaking. We have talked about, now that means that all these skills are being put to use. Whenever you have to write a post, okay, welcoming people, and then you follow up with a call, you call them, you remind them of the day when you're going to have a round table, and even just talking about on social media, there's a lot of credibility. If you say that you have had or you have actually gone through John Maxwell's leadership and facilitation, like worldwide, that is recognized. So you'll be getting the accelerated mentorship program certificate, and you'll be getting a John Maxwell certificate as well. So I urge you all to be facilitators. I'm going to be training the facilitators tomorrow. So I want you to be here with me so that we can go through it, and then we go and change the world that we live in. At a doorstep, we go and change the world that we live in. At workplaces, we go and change the world we live in, even in our families, in our friends. It's very, very possible. When you sign up to be a facilitator, definitely we train you so that you can also go and open roundtables. So what's the best way to actually launch out? That is like, so I've given you a platform and said, launch out. Call 10 people, sit down and dissect a topic. And those topics, I give them to you. I give you a pamphlet, and we have from 1st to 7, because they're supposed to be 7 weeks. And so you make sure that you join in and make sure that you get as much information as you need to be able to actually finish this up. Okay, so make sure that you do that. Amazing. Thank you for the time and attending to each one of us personally. Yes, you need that. You cannot be a mentor. I've seen so many people who disguise under mentorship, but again, they are just not mentors, because a mentor is supposed to give you a full journey of herself, the things that have worked and things that have not worked. A mentor is supposed to hold your hand. A mentor is supposed to believe in you. A mentor is supposed to love you. You're supposed to become a part of their lives, okay? So that this person can hold you for the rest of your life. Some of you were going, 10 years to come, 20 years to come, we are going to bump into each other, or we are going to be working together, and you'll be like, you know what, you did a great job, or you opened us to this world, or you gave us, all these amazing things. So I want you to move with me and be with me. Hello, coach. Some clarity about graphic creation. Okay, about graphic creation. That means when you take pictures, remember I talked about studio pictures. When you take those pictures, you make sure that you have a graphics person. Now, a graphics person can make you, let me say, the cover photo of Facebook, and then they just put on they put on your name and whether you're a career and leadership coach. And so people know, because people really love the visuals. Okay, that is why I said you do graphics. After you've taken the studio pictures, make sure that you take a number of copies, because you're going to need them. And then you go ahead and do the graphics. Okay, who are you? What's your name? People should know. Are you a coach? What kind of coaching do you niche? What is your niche? And for the roundtables, when you get to be a facilitator, you'll be inviting people for the roundtable. So you see, there are so many things. And for YouTube, for Twitter, all those ones have different dimensions. So you'll be sure to actually get to those dimensions, or the person that is doing graphics for you to have those dimensions in mind, to know what kind of width and all that they have to do. So we have to do it, my dear. Okay, how do we get hello, some clarity. Okay, graphics. How do we be part of the round table tomorrow, and what time? Okay, my roundtable definitely is going to be at 9. I love the comfort of being in my home office and just us discussing, because you have to contribute. I will send you the notes, and then we have to be able, it's going to be a discussion, okay? And it's going to be awesome. So you make sure that you register with me, send me a message so that I can send you, and actually I will send a notification to the group that is the freedom seekers, and then to I'm thinking I will send it also to the transformers so that we're going to use Google Meeting. Google Meeting is more convenient than Zoom. Zoom keeps breaking, so we will use Google Meeting for our meeting tomorrow. But that means at 9 you should be able to be somewhere seated with some lighting, and we can be able to see your face, and we are able to hear your voice, and we are able to chat and and talk. So that training is going to be on tomorrow. I will share the links. Okay, how do we part okay, I've told you that. How do we get the John Maxwell notes? I'm going to send them to you. How do we participate for the roundtable? Now let's join in tomorrow for the training, and then I will introduce still the roundtable content, and then definitely after that, because you have to go through the seven of them, so we will create some more time, and then after that you become a facilitator. You go and open your own roundtable, and you have the notes, so it's not that you're getting things from your mind. You have the notes. You go open your own roundtable and facilitate your own roundtable. Now, some of our coordinators, like Marjorie is the project manager, and Patricia is coordinating, and we are going to have more coordinators. They can actually, if you invite us, we can always once in a while show up for your roundtable, just to add the credibility, to endorse your brand, and to tell people that it's authentic. So even when you make whatever graphics or something like that, we can be alongside each other, so that people know that, oh, this is actually serious, and there's a lot of knowledge to gain out of this. Now, after you facilitate your first roundtable, definitely you graduate as a facilitator, and then you go ahead and get more roundtables. For those of you that will need the material printed out, we have the material printed out at office, so we'll be able to give it to you when the right time comes, because this is virtual now, but when the right time comes, guys, it's so enjoyable to have these roundtables. We've been having them around, hotels, restaurants, and stuff like that, and it's just awesome how people participate, leaders from companies and all that, just to gain the insight of what they have to do and what they don't really have to do. So it's really beautiful. Okay, wow, already excited about the roundtables. Can't wait. Exactly. It's an awesome thing. Okay. Please send us the link early enough so that we are in by 9 today. Some of us way out and got the link a bit late. Oh, so sorry about that. I'll make sure that I share it during the day, because definitely we'll be meeting at 9 and we will be conversing. And I'll make sure that I send both the notes and the link, so that you go through the notes. When you come, at least you'll have something to say about it, and then we can go on. Okay, so my time has come to an end. But I wanted to have this chat with you about the questions that some of us had, and I'm glad we've been able to answer them. But I don't want you to hold yourself back. I want you to go big, and I want you to do everything. Give it your whole. Guys, our life is not warranted or guaranteed. We don't know how much time we have. Today we are here, tomorrow we don't know whether we're going to be here. But again, we trust that what God has put inside of us is supposed to change someone's life. So it's better we start now. We don't even wait. You don't wait until the mentorship is done for you to launch out. No, launch out. Do the work, because it's about the work. It's about adding value to people. It's about answering their problems. So if you cannot do those things, the three things, then this world is not for you. You answer, respond, give them their solutions, make sure you add value to them, and make sure that you do the best that you can to make sure that their lives are progressing. Let me tell you, the moment you do that, then whatever you give out comes to you. Now, the moment you help other people, definitely your life is going to turn around, and the issues that you called issues, you're going to look for them, and they're going to be no more. Why? Because a value is going to be added onto you. Most especially, I will say this for those that are married, and maybe your husband does not believe in your passion, is very non-supportive, and is just not interested, and they show that they're disinterested. Let me tell you, the moment you start chasing your purpose, it's very automatic. That man of yours is going to look behind and say, okay, what is happening to Nakamate? Or what is happening to Sarah? What is happening to, and why? Because you will never have time to snoop into people's phones. You will never have time to even ask yourself where they are. You will never have time to sit there and miss people. You will because your purpose is going to consume you, not in a bad way but in a good way, because you will want to serve. You will want to create solutions. You will want to make more money. You'll want to look better. You'll want to look good. You'll want, and let me tell you, there is a way respect is going to just be earned automatically, that someone will feel like, okay, now I used to insult her, but this is not a version that I can insult. This is an elevated version. That is what purpose does to you. It adds value to you, like it price tags you valuable and priceless, that when someone looks at you as like, I used to speak anyhow, but I cannot no longer speak anyhow. I used to dress anyhow, but now being that I'm with her or him, I can't do that. Why? Because your step, your standard has actually gone up, and this person realizes. So the people in our lives are about to ask us some of those things, you have changed, what's wrong, what's happening, and all that. Yeah, you tell them it's good you've noticed I have changed. But don't tell them so many things, okay? Why? Because some of them will come in form of kukudala, mockery, okay? And some of them will come genuinely, they are happy for you. So if someone is genuinely happy for you, hug, talk. Yeah, we're not hugging in this age and era, but listen to them. If someone is coming in form of mockery, walk away. Mockery, walk away. You don't need any negativity in your life. All you need is positivity to grow, to impact the world, make more money, and live a happy life. So the epitome of this, or the peak of this, is us living happy lives, where I can do anything, I can afford anything, this is what I love to do. When I wake up to do it, I wake up thinking of my clients, creating solutions for them, and then boom, the happiness comes in without you knowing. Okay, it's like you'll be immunized against all the negativity. Everything negative, you'll just look at it and wonder what exactly it's up to. Okay, so I want you, and I pray for you, that you get to that level where you just have the freedom, and you have the love and the abundance in your life, in your heart. And wealth is not just about having money, but it's about what is on the inside of us, and how much we love ourselves, how much we're willing to push ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves, and how much we are willing to add value to the world. Okay, so let's do that, and let's meet tomorrow, still on Google Meeting, because I want to be able to see your face, so that we can learn together and change the world together. Okay, so from me to you, is a good night. I love you. And for the freedom seekers, I'm uploading the video. I think must be video day 9 onto the platform right away. Okay, so you'll go check it out. Okay, from me to you is a good night.